Welcome to my short impression of the Soul Calibur VI network test. If you've been living under a rock for years, then you probably know that the Soul Calibur series is just as old as the Tekken franchise, starting out its humble beginnings on the PlayStation 1 with a title called Soul Edge. Instead of getting your knuckles dirty, punching out giant bears in the mean streets of the Tekkenverse, Soul Calibur is a one-on-one fighter that prefers the idea of ranged weapons like swords, whips, staffs, and knives. You'll choose from a giant cast of characters that will bring in familiarity if you've been playing this series for a good summation of your life. Series vets return like Killick, Maxi, Siegfried, Taki, and a slew of newer characters like Grow, and even playing a notable guest character, the Witcher himself, Geralt of Rivia. I would say the gameplay felt intuitive enough to jump right in and remain facile to master over time. The controls naturally accommodated this notion, mapping Pacific ligaments to your standard fare of light attacks, heavies, and kicks, which doles out a methodical amount of pain. After experiencing a few network matches, you'll become privy to some of the advanced systems in play, like the guard cancels, which can immediately turn your average everyday spammer into pace by guarding and pressing forward at the right moment to parry attacks. I did enjoy the intricacy of how the combat meshed together. It didn't feel like you were bouncing off walls or off the ground to get killed by a big combination. However, not all of my experience remained perfect. I did feel a little bit annoyed that blocking low felt ineffective in some moments with a low guard. It seemed like any random move could cut through with a standing mid as opposed to the traditional overhead attack. I think if that's the case, then low parry should at least be prevalent in case you want to deal with those irritating Talim and Maxi players who like to go low. Another issue that I found to be pretty obvious is the implementation of the new reversal edge system. This attack is activated by pressing the R1 button and seeing your character flash red. Once activated, you'll enter a slow motion centerpiece where the attacker and defender are treated to a variety of options. It usually ends with a means of evading the incoming attack, guarding the incoming attack, sidestepping, taking a hit, or being subject to a random combo. On paper, it seems like a cool theory to spice up the gameplay, much like Tekken 7 tried to do with the slow-mo clash, but in execution it is piss poor due to the randomization of the technique and the fact that it can be spammed to hell and back, increasing player exasperation once activated. Look, I understand the rock, paper, scissors system was done to do something different. However, I think it's something that needs a major fix immediately if Namco doesn't want many frustrated players. Either regulate it to the same system as Tekken 7, where you could score a priority hit for being the fastest on animation, or simplify the system so it's a lot less randomized and you have more of a chance of blocking or hitting the opponent. The network test itself greeted me to mixed results. While it's still a work in progress, a majority of my matches ran well, but there were some matches where the lag overpowered my particular input. Soul Calibur 6 tends to pause the game mid-match if you're within a heavily laggy environment. This causes you to drop moves or watches your opponent wells on you due to having a priority advantage by brute forcing through lag. It's something that needs to be amended for launch, either by fixing it or allowing more of a streamlined search pattern when searching for players in your region with a 5-bar connection. Is one small nitpick that I also have to mention, and that is if you're going to do any network tests for any fighting game, then you should probably input a training mode. Players getting their ass stomped online will probably want to go to the lab. Regrettably, that cannot happen since the option isn't available, so half the time I just stuck to button mashing until I finally learned something of value. In conclusion, Soul Calibur 6 was a fundamental experiment that had a lot of promise with the immaculate gameplay and some lows with the reversal edge system and some input dropping in certain matches. What Namco needs to do is rework the reversal edge system, make low guards more effective, and work on a solution to deal with optimizing laggy battles. Even a title screen that tells you what the connection rate of a player is might be a good idea to add. This is Renegade Operative signing off. I apologize in advance if I'm so quiet because I did this shit while my roommate was sleeping, so wanted to get this video out. and I think I did a good job, an okay job, maybe. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and tell me what was your experience with the Soul Calibur 6 beta test that transpired this week. I will see you guys next time. Later.